General Shakti and General Aayla Secura have no shortage of natural synergies. Looking at these two together is, of course, a no-brainer. But what looks best? Well, shocker. To me, it's red, no blanks, Jark'Kai. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, Star Wars Destiny folks. Welcome back to Dice Commando, and happy Destiny Friday. Hope everything's going great for you all. So today I want to talk about, I know, red, no blanks, Jark'Kai. We've had no lack of talking about that before. But hey, Jark'Kai is getting close to ending its run on rotation at some point here by the end of 2023, probably, if I'm doing my math correctly. So hey, you may as well ride that train while it lasts. So Shakti came out. So let's back up. We saw Aayla Secura come out in Display of Power, and she's multicolor, right? Very cool. And we did a video talking about red no blanks Jark'Kai with her, and the fact that you could pair her with another blue, and then have essentially two targets, playing some redeploys and getting max value out of Jark'Kai. That being, one of the problems of Jark'Kai being that if your big goes down, how do you win? Well, two targets, redeploys, that's how you win, kids. Now, Shakti came out in the most recent set, and she looks pretty good. And interestingly enough, after this setup, this character gains the color red. So both of these characters can play together at blue-red, and are blue-red, and play together at blue-red, and perfectly synergize as such, and count as spotting for both. Great synergy there. And then, if you could look at the power actions, power action, roll a set-aside clone trooper die into your pool. You may re-roll that die. Very cool. And after you resolve a trooper die showing damage, you may resolve one of this character's character die showing damage, increasing its value by 1. So they even synergize together off the power action. Just a little bonus there. Yeah, right? That's pretty freaking sweet. Not to mention the fact that you've got two legal targets for Jark'Kai. Their dice are pretty decent. Reroll definitely doesn't suck when you've got a giant pool of weapon dice that, granted, don't miss if you get the Kara's blaster out, but sometimes you don't. Anyway, the whole thing is pretty freaking phenomenal when you really think about just the pure amount of synergy on these two. Right, so going ahead and putting my deck list up for these. So starting with Palace of the Jedi, I think that one's really a no-brainer there. Again, it's an extra die, and it's got a effective healing, and it's better than healing. It's moving, and hey, that'll do, kids. Right now, of course, they can do it back to you, and you're going to be slow. To be fair, you're going to be slow, but it's one of those things that really helps you early, I think. And look at these dice. Look at these dice. A 2, a 2, a 2, a 2, a 2, a 2, a 3. Pretty good chance of getting it early and helping yourself out with a little bit of ramp maybe, or whatever else you can do. Right, so Cara Dune's Blaster is the one that leads the charge because that's the synergy, right, when it's on that character. Resolve blanks as melee with 1, which in with Jark'Kai become, with a trigger Jark'Kai become 2. It's pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now, one thing I do want to point out, right, remember, Cara Dune's does not redeploy. That's why I have 2 of them so you get it, but I also have 2 of them because it doesn't redeploy. Now remember, if you don't have Kara's, it's not the end of the world. You just have to probably use some rerolls, which you have on your dice, right? And it works well. I do have the DH-17 blaster. This is a gray blaster, but redeploys on a red character, both of which are red, so it redeploys. Do keep in mind we have Armory out. DH-17 will not work. Oh, no, wait. Yes, it does. Sorry, Armory's red character, so it's always turned on. All right, we have Jark'Kai, of course. That's the only exclamation card in the deck, so we're legal there. And then I've got a whole bunch of 1-drops, right? So Key's lightsaber, Shakti's lightsaber, then 2 standard issue blasters. Again, I know we're mixing damage here, but at some point you just stop caring because it's all 3s, right? And standard issue blaster, you get to reroll, and when it redeploys, or not a reroll, you get a roll in for free, and then when it redeploys, you get a roll in for free. Very, very good there. Westars are insane. Probably not pinging with this deck, but who the hell cares? It's a really good weapon. And then Yoda's lightsaber is for frickin' nominal 1-drop. Absolutely for frickin' nominal. That's a word, by the way. All right. Going into the events, So I played around quite a bit with the number of upgrades. Again, it's upgrade heavy, obviously, but that's kind of the point. But you don't want to go too heavy in, right? I was at 14 for a long time, so I settled on 13 so I could have 15 events, which I think's about right. One thing on this deck is you do end up having, or you can end up having quite a bit of money because it also increases the resource, right? On Jark'Kai does, I mean. So you end up having quite a bit of money, but not until you have almost too much money. There's kind of an inflection point. So to my point in that is it's okay to run probably a higher concentration of 2-drop events because they're kind of, your game blower outers, right? So we have blue milk, which makes complete sense. We have one command, one of those. Again, you got the multi-red. So that, or sorry, excuse me. In this case, they're multi-leader. So that tracks here. However, it only applies to the number you have. So I only have one there because if you get a late game and one of them's gone, right, you'll track. Field medic, fluid riposte. We have healing touch is on there. That one's got renew on it. We have Luke's offer. And because remember, the healing touch thing, you don't really care because this is kind of a blowout deck of like you just rolling in. I mean, that's how Jark'Kai works is you're kind of hitting them and then all of a sudden you roll and there's just like 12 damage on the table. And I can't do anything about it. So it's okay to heal them to stay alive and get another roll in, right? Yeah, it is. All right, Luke's offer, self-explanatory there with what we're trying to do. You're playing the weapons, cheaper, it's a good card. Power of the tribe, no question there. And then I did go with Roll in the Mud here. I know that you have to roll out early, but Roll in the Mud is such good value for red. So that's what I went with here. I think the most debatable thing about this is honestly the battlefield. I totally grant that because this deck, especially with you doing Ayla's power, so you get Ayla's power action out, see what it rolls, then you'll get Shock T out, then they have to respond if they didn't already because of the 2 damage on the trooper. So a little slow there. So I completely grant the questionable battlefield choice. I just thought the die early would be nice. Move a little, heal a little, make a little love, get down tonight. Anyway, whatever. So that's what I've got. That's what I'm looking at. This deck's really cool, right? I mean, I don't need to preach on the no blanks Jark'Kai thing. We've done that in multiple videos. We did one, originally we did one when Ayla came out. Probably another one somewhere in there because there's been hundreds of episodes, literally. So y'all get it, but this is really, really, really neat. And there's head tails everywhere. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, folks. Let me know what you think about the deck. If you've tried it, there's a lot of synergy. It's pretty neat. So let me know what you think. Nothing else, folks. Have a great rest of your weekend and go Commando.